You know, it's getting pretty goddamn hard trying to manage this and make everything work out when I am fucking so busy. Anyways, this is called a Devil's Horn solar eclipse, and it's occurring because the moon is right here. And pay attention, because this is water here. This is why we're telling you water curves up. Water curves up. If Earth were a downward curve, you could not really replicate this. It works a lot better if you take metal and you bend it up. But, you know, the Devil's eclipse is showing you this is the moon, this is the sun, and they are raising upward together. Some people call this a double sunrise, but also this is impossible on a flat Earth. Let me explain why. Solar horns require a sunset or a sunrise, which is impossible on a flat Earth. And it doesn't really tell you why, but I understand. And this is because your sun on a flat Earth is 3,000 miles above. So there's never really a sunset. There's really the sun just going out of your view. And they say that's perspective. On a concave Earth, we have a sunset, and on a spherical convex, there is a sunset. The phenomenon, there it goes. The phenomenon relies entirely on geometry of a spherical Earth combined with atmospheric refraction or celestial orbital mechanics and celestial orbital mechanics. We have this in the concavity of the Earth. So in the spherical model, the moon passes between the sun and the Earth, and it casts a shadow upon the globe. And the specific crescent horn shape is seen from the ground, dictated by the curved geometry of the spherical perspective. Now, I'll show you a video. You just saw one. But in the flat Earth model, eclipses are generally explained by a local anti-moon or a dark body. A flat and stationary plane cannot produce the specific viewing angles, shadow trajectories, and atmosphere light distortion required for a double-horned sun on the horizon. Okay, so when we're looking at this, you see that there's a sphere here. This is the moon, this is the sun. The moon, the sun, the moon, again, the moon and the sun. And you have an eclipse happening, just like in 2012 there was a solar eclipse. We saw our solar eclipse in 2025. And flat earthers cannot predict a eclipse. They don't have a celestial sphere. They don't have the working celestial mechanics, such as the moon orbiting the celestial sphere, and it's moving and crosses right in front of the sun, right in front of your sunlight. And that's what you're having in this phenomenon. So looking through how this is occurring, the Devil's sunrise obscures the center of the sun. On a convex globe Earth, the phenomenon works through a combination of celestial mechanics, observer perspective, and atmospheric refraction. So just like on the concave model, the solar horns would still work perfectly. It doesn't depend on the overarching curvature of the Earth, but a local atmosphere conditions and the geometry. Now I'm going to show you that's kind of wrong. So you got to understand, guys, I know when AI is kind of explaining something different to me, but watch. I'll show you. It completely relies upon the curvature of the Earth. The devil horns effect occurs during a partial solar eclipse when the sun is right on the horizon at sunrise or sunset, both possible on convex or concave globe. The moon blocks the center of the sun, leaving only two bright pointing tips, cusp at the solar crescent visible, both possible on the convex and globe. Atmospheric refraction. When the sun and moon are low to the horizon, the Earth's dense atmosphere acts like a lens, compressing, stretching the light. So, there's partial truth in that because the land is curving upward You have a real curvature, and it's kind of not really pointing to that. This is not an atmospheric condition that's happening. The land is literally curving up, and so is the water. This is water right here, and so is the blending into the moon. There's water there as well. So in a concave so by the way, the Etruscan vase effect distorts the crescent, making the glowing tips appear as two separate fiery horns. And we're telling you no, in this the earth is continuing, the water is continuing, and this is an effect that's evident because the water is ramping up, and you see that bend right here, and you know that there's water in the distance. This is phenomenal, people. Now let's take a look in the concave Earth model where we live inside of the sphere. The horizon line, because of curvature of the concave bowl, the local horizon is a physical property of the landscape no matter where you are, because the real horizon is way up in the distance and height. As long as the moon passes between your vantage point and sun, as it does in any eclipse, and the alignment happens at the level horizon, refraction will distort the crescent to concave horns. It works, everybody. It works in the concave, and it works in the convex. Water's under this boat. That's the same curvature that you see in the double horns at the bottom of the moon and sun. There's water under that boat. It's curving up. We know it's curving up. We've already seen it curving up. The curve, it's right in front of your eyes. We have to be a fool to assume that this is what they call a fata morgana. There's no bending of light by magic, they say, right? What we have is the water and the ground curving up. As that water and the ground curve up, of course, light's going to follow the curving of the earth. This mirroring effect right here, see this mirroring effect right here? You see this mirroring effect right here? That mirroring effect right there? And the bottom one are like stairs going up into the distance. And if you look really closely, you can see, in my opinion, I see water above the boat. It just makes sense. As I'm looking out at the horizon, everything's curving up, just like the solar eclipse that we were looking at. It's curving up right in front of us. Do you see the horizon right here? That mirroring effect?
Because I'm getting higher, it's going further down away from me. So why would it actually come up with me if you claim it's going down and away from me? If we took a drone up right now, the horizon is going to rise with the drone. Doesn't matter how high you go. If you get in a plane, the horizon rises with you.
Said
You
it will
claim it's
go
going down.
lower. It'll always go lower. No
But it
matter how high you
doesn't.
get,
It literally,
lower.
it literally doesn't. It goes higher.
Ruhif said.
Short answer is horizon doesn't rise. This is what I'm saying. Think about that. They are so dumb. Dude, Jared, listen, the Globers are literally. So you remember when McToon at dinner tonight, McToon said, "Time out. This is so funny." Okay, dude. When I brought this up, I brought this up at dinner.
Here, we'll play it again. Hold on, we're gonna watch from our dinner, so you can see we're way up high.
This is so funny, bro.
The horizon is right, even with our eye level, all the way up. We're probably how high there?
Look at that.
A couple hundred feet.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. That was salad.
And, dude,
Even though, again,
and by
we're
the way,
talking about a horizon that is not an actual place or position. But anyway.
Yo, check this. Everyone at dinner, when I said, yo, guys, look at the water, look how high it looks. Everyone was like, whoa, that's crazy. It was like noticeably looked like it was really high in the sky with us, okay? And guess what? When I pointed out, yeah, well, that's obviously because of perspective, okay? And then there was a couple chuckles, and I said, I mean, like, if the Earth's a ball and it's curving down and away from me in all directions, but we're going higher, and then the horizon's coming up with us, it has to be because of perspective, because perspective makes the ground ramp up. Which, why would it not? It makes railroad tracks converge, flip it on their side. It makes the clouds look like they're going down. It's just what perspective does. Okay, it's what it does to street lights. It does it to everything in the world. Okay? I said, if it's a globe, you'd have to say, well, yeah, it's actually going down and away from you, but perspective is making it look like it's coming up. And McToon said, yeah, every glober says that. That's what McToon said. He said, he acted like I was lying and said, no one says that it doesn't rise when you increase. Guess what? We got the Globers right here saying, long story short, the horizon doesn't rise. That's what you guys think. What? Why? Have you ever been in a plane, bro? In a plane, bro. The horizon rises with you, objectively, factually. What are you gonna do right now? You're gonna move the goalpost, and you're gonna say, "Oh, but it doesn't rise all the way to eye level." Okay, well, one step at a time, bro. Admit that it rises, and then we'll talk about how, yeah, of course, because it's the ground that's appearing to ramp up in conversion. Then we're above the ground. Believe it or not, on a flat Earth, when you go up above the ground, you're still going above the ground. Okay, rant over. I just think it's funny that you guys like. I mean, it's just kind of embarrassing. I was trying to tell them guys earlier, dude. Let's say hypothetically the Earth was a globe. The glober's inability to acknowledge basic things and the fact that they hide and lie about so many things is why there would be flat earthers.
And you should ask yourself, what kind of surface would produce that result? If it's
Ocean has a ramp. It's like a parking lot. Ocean has a ramp.
It's an elevator.
It's an elevator. And then you get to a certain point, they're just like going down.
If it's
So it's just a matter of finding a vessel that's the right distance away, and you can see that water's
You should ask yourself, what kind of surface would produce that result? If it's
Ocean has a ramp. It's like a parking lot. Ocean has a ramp.
It's an elevator.
It's an elevator. And then you get to a certain point, they're just like going. It's like a parking lot. It's like a parking lot.
Michael's caught! Michael's caught! Stone! Pile driver! Michael's caught in midair! Tombstone! He did it!